Did you know that 67% of women over 50 say they feel no longer attractive? North American Menopause Society survey. But this belief is not supported by science. In fact, medical research shows your body and mind still carry powerful signs of beauty that only grow stronger with age. In this video, I'll reveal 12 scientific signs that prove you are still captivating, and the last one may completely change the way you see yourself. Hello, I'm Dr. Eliza Hart, a board-certified gynecologist with over 15 years of experience in women's health, menopause care, and hormonal wellness. Throughout my career, I've listened to thousands of women share their fears about losing their beauty and vitality after 40. And I can assure you most of those fears are not supported by the evidence. The truth is, society has convinced many women that aging means fading. But in reality, what changes after 50 is not the end of beauty. It's the beginning of a more powerful, deeper kind of attractiveness. Studies in psychology, endocrinology, and gerontology all confirm that confidence, emotional resilience, and hormonal balance play a larger role in perceived beauty than wrinkle-free skin ever could. If you've doubted yourself, this is where science will help you see what others already see in you. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss any future videos on women's health and senior wellness. And please help me reach my first 1,000 subscribers so I can continue to grow this channel and bring you more science-backed content. Let me know in the comments, type 1 if you've ever felt your beauty was fading, or 0 if you're learning to embrace this new chapter. Your responses help me understand how to serve you better. 1. Smile, the natural marker of vitality. As we move into the very first sign, let's begin with something so simple yet profoundly powerful: your smile. In every stage of life, but especially after 50, a genuine smile remains one of the strongest indicators of vitality and inner health. Research in neuropsychology has shown that smiling activates multiple regions in the brain, releasing dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins. These chemicals not only elevate mood, but also reduce physical tension, improve circulation, and create a visible radiance that cosmetics alone cannot achieve. When I meet patients who feel older than their years, I often notice their expression before anything else. Those who allow themselves to smile with authenticity instantly appear more approachable, more vibrant, and more youthful, even if they carry lines around their eyes or mouth. In fact, those lines are biological records of repeated positive emotional expression. Far from being flaws, they are evidence of a life where joy has been experienced and shared. It is important to remember that a smile does more than change your appearance. It changes your physiology and the way others respond to you. Studies from the University of Kansas found that participants who smiled during stress experienced lower heart rates and faster recovery. So the next time you doubt your reflection, pause and smile at yourself. You may be surprised at how quickly your perception shifts. And once we acknowledge the power of a smile, we naturally begin to notice another feature that speaks volumes about attraction and well-being. 2. Eyes, the windows of health and emotion. After a smile, the next feature that quietly communicates both beauty and well-being is your eyes. They are not just a matter of color or shape. They reflect hormonal balance, emotional resilience, and overall health. As estrogen levels decline during and after menopause, many women experience dryness, irritation, or subtle changes in brightness. These changes are natural, but they do not diminish the expressive power of your gaze. In fact, decades of research in psychology show that eye contact remains one of the strongest signals of confidence and connection across all ages. Patients often tell me that they feel their eyes look tired, yet when I encourage them to maintain hydration, use protective eye care, and allow themselves moments of genuine expression, they are often surprised at how much lighter and more vibrant their appearance becomes. The eyes carry the record of every experience: joy, grief, compassion, and resilience. When they brighten during a smile or soften with empathy, they transmit warmth in ways words never could. Medical studies confirm this perception. A report in the Journal of Vision highlighted that observers consistently rated individuals with expressive eye movements as more attractive and trustworthy regardless of age. This means your eyes continue to tell your story with remarkable impact. And when we recognize the importance of how the eyes speak without words, it leads us to another visible marker of vitality, one that frames the face and often carries its own story of health and hormones. 3. Hair, a visible reflection of hormonal health. Hair frames the face and carries deep meaning for many women, yet it is also one of the first features to reflect hormonal shifts. After menopause, changes in estrogen and progesterone can affect thickness, texture, and shine. With lower levels of these hormones, hair may grow more slowly, feel drier, or become finer. This is not a sign of lost beauty, but rather a normal stage of biology that can be managed with the right care. What I emphasize to my patients is that nutrition and daily habits make a remarkable difference. A diet rich in protein, iron, and omega-3 fatty acids supports follicle strength, while antioxidants from fruits and vegetables help protect against inflammation that weakens hair. Gentle treatment also matters, limiting chemical dyes, reducing heat styling, and massaging the scalp to improve circulation all promote healthier growth. Equally important is the way a woman embraces her own hair. Some choose to highlight silver strands with pride, others continue coloring, and many find freedom in shorter cuts. Research published in Dermatology and Therapy confirms that women satisfied with their hairstyle report greater self-esteem and lower stress, no matter their age. When hair reflects care and authenticity, it becomes a visible sign of vitality. And once this is recognized, attention naturally turns to another lasting element of beauty, the personal style that allows a woman's identity to shine. 4. Style, personal expression that supports well-being. Another clear sign of attractiveness after 50 is the way a woman expresses herself through style. At this stage, the body naturally changes. Metabolism slows comfort, needs increase, and certain cuts or fabrics may feel different than before. Instead of following fleeting trend, style becomes most meaningful when it reflects health, confidence, and authenticity. In fact, research in the Journal of Aging Studies showed that women who felt satisfied with their clothing reported greater confidence and improved emotional well-being. From a medical standpoint, clothing choices are not just about looks. Proper fabrics and fits can support circulation, ease, joint strain, and improve posture. Supportive shoes help protect bone health, while breathable materials regulate body temperature, especially valuable for women managing hot flashes or other hormonal changes. Thus, an outfit that feels right does more than flatter. It directly impacts comfort and overall health. I encourage patients to view their wardrobe as a form of self-care. Clothing that is comfortable and authentic lowers stress and makes social interactions easier. Whether it is a simple jacket that fits well, a pair of shoes that supports mobility, or a color that boosts mood, these choices signal respect for both body and identity. When style is intentional, it becomes a quiet yet powerful declaration of self-worth. And once this outer frame is established, the focus naturally shifts inward to the qualities that influence how others experience your presence. 5. Confidence, the posture of lasting beauty. If style provides the frame, confidence is what brings it to life. Confidence is not only an attitude, but also a biological signal that others notice instantly. Research from Harvard University shows that standing tall and maintaining eye contact lowers cortisol, the hormone of stress, while slightly increasing testosterone, which is linked to presence and assertiveness. These subtle shifts affect how you are perceived and how you perceive yourself. In my practice, I have met women who feared they were fading into the background. Yet when they adjusted their posture and carried themselves with calm assurance, the reaction of others changed immediately. Confidence does not erase wrinkles or gray strands, but it reshapes the energy you project. Even on challenging days, practicing steady breathing and intentional body language communicates self-respect. Over time, those choices create genuine inner stability. Confidence also supports healthier habits. Women who value themselves tend to be more consistent with exercise, nutrition, and preventive care, all of which enhance vitality and appearance. It becomes a reinforcing cycle. Self-assurance encourages positive behaviors, and those behaviors strengthen self-assurance. I'd like to ask you, what small action makes you feel more confident each day? Share your answer in the comments so this community can learn from one another. Sometimes a single idea can give another woman the encouragement she needs. Acknowledging the role of confidence leads naturally to the next enduring quality, the strength that comes from living with authenticity. 6. Authenticity, living in alignment with yourself. After confidence, authenticity is the quality that sustains well-being over time. To live authentically means making choices that reflect your values rather than adjusting to external approval. From a medical perspective, this is more than philosophy. Research in psychoneuroendocrinology shows that women who live authentically have lower cortisol levels and report fewer symptoms of anxiety and depression. In daily life, authenticity often reveals itself in practical choices. It may be selecting clothing that feels comfortable instead of chasing trends, speaking honestly about personal needs, or prioritizing long-term health decisions over temporary social acceptance. Each of these actions reinforces the message to your body and mind. Your needs matter, and your voice deserves to be heard. Authenticity also strengthens social bonds. When you interact without pretense, others respond with trust, and this fosters supportive networks. Social connection is one of the strongest predictors of longevity and emotional resilience for women over 50, according to the Journal of Health and Social Behavior. Authenticity does not demand perfection. It simply requires honesty and the courage to align your choices with who you are. When this alignment becomes part of daily living, it creates a calm strength that radiates naturally. And from that strength, another lasting quality of beauty emerges: the warmth you offer to others, which benefits both their health and your own. 7. Warmth, the healing power of kindness. Following authenticity, warmth is the quality that touches people most deeply. Warmth is not only emotional, it also has measurable effects on health. Acts of kindness and empathy stimulate oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, which lowers blood pressure, supports cardiovascular function, and reduces inflammation. For women over 50, these effects are especially important because they directly influence longevity and resilience. In practice, I have seen women underestimate the value of their warmth. They may believe that appearance alone defines attractiveness, yet those who show empathy often leave the strongest impression. A warm word, attentive listening, or a gentle smile creates safety for others. These responses are remembered long after physical details fade. Medical literature supports this truth. Studies published in psychoneuroendocrinology confirm that higher oxytocin levels are linked with improved stress recovery and stronger immune function. In other words, kindness strengthens both the giver and the receiver. Warmth enhances your presence by making others feel valued, and that sense of connection reflects back as confidence and calmness in your own body. Warmth is therefore a form of beauty that requires no cosmetics or treatments. It is cultivated through practice by choosing to show compassion even in small, everyday situations. And when warmth becomes part of your presence, it sets the stage for another sign of lasting attractiveness: humor, the ability to keep joy alive in the face of change. 8. Humor, the medicine of joy. After warmth, humor emerges as a sign of vitality that refreshes both body and spirit. Humor is not limited to telling jokes. It is the capacity to find lightness even in ordinary or difficult moments. From a biological perspective, laughter stimulates the release of endorphins, which are natural pain relievers, and also improves circulation and oxygen intake. According to the Mayo Clinic, regular laughter lowers stress, boosts the immune system, and protects mental health. For women navigating menopause or the transitions of later life, humor becomes an especially valuable resource. Patients often tell me that the ability to laugh at daily frustrations makes challenges feel more manageable. Those who maintain humor report lower levels of depression and higher resilience when facing health changes. The lines that form around the eyes from years of laughter are in fact physical evidence of positive emotional experience. Humor also influences social perception. People are naturally drawn to women who bring levity into a room because shared laughter fosters trust and emotional safety. This effect does not diminish with age. If anything, it deepens as humor is paired with wisdom and perspective. By cultivating humor, you give yourself a tool to counteract stress while also brightening the lives of those around you. And once laughter becomes part of your daily health, the eyes, the feature most capable of expressing emotion, gain even more significance as a marker of beauty. 9. Embracing your story, accepting the marks of time. While humor adds lightness, another sign of lasting beauty is the ability to embrace your story. Every wrinkle, scar, or change in skin texture is the biological record of a life lived. As estrogen decreases, collagen production slows, and skin elasticity declines, which is why fine lines or sagging become more noticeable. These are not flaws. They are expected physiological changes that reflect resilience and endurance. From a dermatological perspective, there are many safe ways to care for skin. At this stage, hydration, sunscreen, and gentle cleansing all protect barrier function. However, the most powerful step is psychological acceptance. Women who view their skin as a record of experiences rather than a problem report greater self-esteem and lower levels of body dissatisfaction. This has been confirmed in studies published in the Journal of Women in Aging. I often remind patients that scars and wrinkles carry meaning. They represent laughter, shared challenges overcome, and seasons of growth. Trying to erase every line is like erasing chapters from a book. Instead, tending to the skin with care while respecting its history creates both health and dignity. When you embrace your story with compassion, others see strength rather than decline. And from that strength, another subtle habit becomes important, the ability to accept compliments with grace, which shapes how you and those around you perceive your worth. 10. Accepting compliments, honoring your own value. After learning to embrace your story, the next sign of beauty is the ability to accept compliments with grace. Many women instinctively dismiss kind words, often out of modesty or disbelief, yet research in social psychology shows that rejecting compliments is linked to lower self-esteem and reinforces negative self-perception. Accepting them, on the other hand, activates brain regions associated with reward and increases dopamine, which strengthens confidence. In practice, I've seen how powerful this shift can be. One patient in her 70s told me she had always brushed off compliments about her appearance. When her granddaughter once said, "Grandma, you are the most beautiful woman I know," she resisted the urge to deny it and simply replied, "Thank you." She later described feeling seen in a way she had not for decades. That moment of acceptance changed how she carried herself in daily life. Accepting compliments does not mean vanity. It is an act of respect for both yourself and the person offering the words. When you acknowledge them sincerely, you reinforce your own sense of worth and validate the kindness of others. Over time, this practice reshapes your self-image and lightens the way you move through the world. As you grow more comfortable receiving affirmation, another dimension of presence becomes noticeable. The magnetic quality that draws people to you without effort, often referred to as aura. 11. Magnetic aura, the invisible pull of presence. Beyond accepting compliments, beauty often reveals itself through an intangible quality aura. A magnetic aura is not mystical. It is the outcome of biological and psychological alignment. When confidence, warmth, and authenticity converge, others naturally feel drawn toward you. Research in social psychology shows that individuals with higher self-esteem and emotional stability are consistently rated as more attractive regardless of physical features. I have observed this many times. A woman may not wear striking clothes or makeup, yet when she enters a room, attention shifts. The calmness in her demeanor, the steadiness of her gaze, and the comfort in her own skin generate presence that cannot be manufactured. This quiet energy lingers after she leaves, shaping the way people remember her. From a health perspective, aura reflects regulated stress hormones and balanced emotional states. When cortisol remains stable and oxytocin is active, the body projects calmness that others intuitively perceive. These signals encourage trust and strengthen social bonds, which directly support resilience and longevity. A magnetic aura cannot be forced. It emerges from inner alignment and consistent self-care. By practicing habits that reduce stress and nurture authenticity, your presence becomes naturally compelling. And when this unseen glow is recognized, it prepares the way for the final and perhaps most extraordinary sign of beauty, the ability to inspire others. 12. Inspiring others, the highest form of beauty. The final sign of lasting beauty is the ability to inspire. Inspiration is not about public recognition. It is the quiet influence that shapes the lives around you. Findings from the Harvard study of adult development show that role modeling and meaningful relationships strongly predict both emotional well-being and longevity. Women who inspire others often experience greater life satisfaction and stronger support networks, which in turn benefit their own health. In practice, I have seen countless examples. One woman in her 70s cared for her spouse through illness with patience and dignity. Neighbors later told her that witnessing her devotion reshaped their understanding of love. Another patient mentored younger colleagues, and years later they credited her guidance for their professional success. Neither woman considered herself inspirational, yet their actions left a profound impact. Inspiration arises when authenticity, warmth, and resilience are lived consistently. These qualities encourage others to face challenges with courage and to believe in their own strength. This ripple effect is one of the most powerful forms of beauty because it outlives appearance and is carried forward in the lives you touch. To inspire is to remind others that aging is not decline, but transformation. And in that transformation lies the deepest proof that your beauty continues to grow with time. As we close, let's bring together everything we have explored. These 12 signs are not tricks, trends, or fleeting standards. They are evidence-based markers that show beauty after 50 is real, measurable, and enduring. A smile that lifts mood, chemistry, eyes that reveal compassion, hair that reflects health, and style that expresses self-respect. These are visible cues. Confidence, authenticity, warmth, and humor are inner strengths that radiate outward. And embracing your story, accepting compliments, projecting a magnetic aura, and inspiring others complete the full picture of timeless beauty. The central lesson is this: beauty does not fade with age, it evolves. Science confirms that hormones, brain chemistry, and social connection continue to shape attractiveness long after the mirror shows lines or gray. Your role is not to chase youth, but to nourish health. Protect mental well-being and live in alignment with your values. Practical steps: hydration, balance, nutrition, exercise. Stress, management, and regular medical care form the foundation. But the mindset of self-acceptance and compassion is what turns those practices into radiance. My advice is to start with one small action today. Smile at yourself in the mirror, accept a compliment without deflection, or choose clothing that feels supportive. These seemingly simple acts reinforce your biological and psychological health. Over time, they build into a presence that no cosmetic treatment could equal. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this message spoke to you, please subscribe, share the video, and help me reach my first 1,000 subscribers so I can continue to bring you science-based guidance. Your support makes this community stronger, and I am deeply grateful. Remember, you are not too late. This is where it begins.